Well, that was a lot. And there's a lot that I want to say. So we can all agree that there's a lot of stuff happening in the beauty community right now, and I want to talk about it. But every time I try to talk about it, I keep getting so angry. So what I've done is I've written out some notes that I want to go over with the topics that I think are somewhat important and sometimes forgotten about. And even though it feels weird, I'm going to be doing my makeup today because I have to take out garbage, and this is the only time I ever see human beings because I've been in quarantine since March 12th. So it does feel weird. I want to acknowledge that it feels weird with the topics being so heavy that I'll be also doing my makeup. But really this is for me to not get horrifically angry and say things that maybe I would regret. If you hear bells, I'm sorry. I mean, I have cats, they have collars on, so I'm just gonna take off my glasses so that I can do my face, and I won't be talking about any of the products that I'm using today. We're just gonna stick to the topic of what's at hand. I might have to put on my glasses a couple more times because I'm pretty nearsighted, so I might have to also hold up my notes. I'm sorry. I don't know any of these people personally. I have never spoken to any of them, obviously. Early last year, Tati made a video about James Charles after he had done a Sugar Bear hair sponsorship, which she found very hurtful because she has Halo Beauty. So some of the things she said in her initial video I sort of agreed with, but I did think that it was strange. I'm of the mindset that if an issue is private, you have no right to bring it public. And if the issue is public, you need to address it publicly. If the issue is private, you need to address the issue privately. If you want to recap on all of what happened in Dramageddon 2, you can go and watch a ton of different drama videos or commentary videos. This is just a high level. James lost a ton of subscribers, like a historic amount of subscribers in just a short few days. And he came out with another video, and then all of his subscribers came back after he explained everything that was going on. And since then, it's been pretty quiet, except that Shane Dawson had put the drama in the trailer for his series with Jeffree Star last year. So everybody was all up in arms. Shane Dawson went on, I think it was Instagram Live, I could be wrong, correct me if you know otherwise, but Shane Dawson came onto some sort of social media and said that he was thinking about not including the drama in the series, and he wanted to make it all about the palette and the making of the palette. And I know a lot of people were upset about that because they felt that a huge portion of the trailer for that series included some of the drama, and we felt like we were going to see behind the scenes of all of that and what all happened. And looking back on it, I'm kind of glad that didn't happen because it seems a lot more toxic and a lot more dangerous than what any of us had thought to begin with, even after we saw how it mentally destroyed James Charles for a while. I mean, he had to cancel his tour, he took a break from YouTube. It was a lot. And I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of James Charles. I just think that he's just not somebody that I watch. I do not like Jeffree Star. Full transparency, and I'm not going to accept any of his apologies, A, because I have no right to, it's never been against me, but B, because what he said and his actions after he's apologized have not proven that he's any different, to be completely honest. I don't like Jeffree Star. Shane Dawson, I started watching Shane Dawson when he was doing what we'll call like the Spooky Boys era, where he was with Drew and Garrett a lot, and they were going to the haunted Walmart, or they were going to Call Hogwarts, or all of that stuff. I knew that he had a weird sense of humor, and at the beginning, when I first started watching YouTube, I didn't like it. I didn't like him. No one watch it. But it seemed like he had changed. It genuinely did. So I did watch him. And I watched his series. Tati posted a video recently where she went over as much as her legal team would approve of for her to go over. So she talked about why she made the video. Tati explained that she felt manipulated to make a video against James Charles by Shane Dawson directly. She said that Jeffree Star had told her some things, but when she met Shane Dawson, that was when it sort of solidified her viewpoint of James Charles, where she was already a little bit upset with him and already felt really hurt by him. I forgot to put on powder. Oh, forgot powder. She felt like because it was Shane Dawson, she could believe him and believe that what he was saying was accurate because he was a beloved documentarian on YouTube, and there was no reason for her to believe that what he was saying was not true. She took it as truth. Was that naive of her to do? Yeah, probably. You're putting all of your trust in Shane Dawson, this person you've never met. And you really need to be careful, especially when you're in a position of power, especially in an industry where people will use you, eat you alive, spit you out. You really need to be careful about who you trust and who's on your side. And I think Tati was naive in that situation, but she did say that she felt manipulated by Shane Dawson and by Jeffree Star. But most of her video was how she felt that she was manipulated by Shane Dawson. Tati did apologize to James. I don't know that the apology that she posted in her video was sufficient, but she did say that James Charles accepted her apology. And that's really all that matters, honestly. Hannah from Smokey Glow has said this, that the only person she needed to apologize to in that situation was James. And I don't necessarily think that's 100% true. I went back to watch the Bye Sister video to remind myself everything Tati had said. And there was a portion in that video where she started talking about James's parents. And I think his parents deserve an apology from her as well. She may have given them one. We don't know. We're just viewers. All we know is what her lawyer has approved her to say. So I do think that she should have apologized to James's parents for saying that they need to come and take care of their son because she's done. Because at the end of the day, you could have been a mentor, and what he did could have hurt you deeply, and you could have felt very motherly to him. But at the end of the day, you really shouldn't bash a mother, or you shouldn't bring in parents to these YouTube situations. I don't think it's appropriate. What's interesting, and there's so many parts of Tati's video, it's hard to keep it straight, so I feel like this video is being really rambly, but I want to point out the part where she said that she was afraid for her safety. There's a number of YouTubers who have come out and said that they were afraid for their safety. I think, and I might be wrong, Blair White, I believe, said that she was afraid for her safety. Gabby Hanna had recently tweeted that she was afraid for her safety. I don't remember if this was before or after she had posted that she deleted all of her collabs with Shane Dawson. Which, by the way, she, as of right now when I'm filming this, her Twitter and Instagram don't seem to exist anymore. So, not sure if anything else is going to come out of this because it seems like some stuff is going on and we don't really know why, and I don't want to speculate. But there's so many people that have said that they're afraid for their safety that it's like, if Tati really moved from Los Angeles to Seattle and then moved again, this is her making financial decisions about where you're living long-term during a pandemic. This is something that I feel like we need to take seriously and really question what could happen that makes these people afraid for their safety. If Shane really did offer to edit the video to help with the title and to change the thumbnail to make sure it got more views, that's a little disgusting to me. Especially after Tati said the day before she was posting the video, she texted or called Shane and said that she was really afraid for James's safety since he's going to be at the top story of this hotel when she posts this video. And to come back and say he's too narcissistic to do that, gross. That's so gross. You don't know what anybody's going to do. You don't know what anybody's capable of doing. And you would be okay, sleep perfectly fine at night knowing that he could have hurt himself based off of something that you helped or that you approved of. Like, that's a lot. And that's hard to accept. And I don't think I've fully accepted that part of his, of what she's accusing him of. Because it completely flips upside down what everybody has thought of Shane. Shane's always been this person who's really sympathetic and says that he's an empath and he feels people when they're hurting, he feels hurt. But he's saying that if Tati puts out this video, James would never hurt himself because he's too narcissistic. Like, it's baffling to me that somebody could be so heartless. And what Tati did in her first video, I could see her being manipulated. She's never really been horribly friendly with anybody on the internet. So when Tati made the video, she was still in the wrong. But I feel like if James can forgive her, then maybe, not that we, just because James has forgiven Tati for the original video she made, it doesn't mean that we have to. But it does mean that the person who was most hurt in all of this felt that her response to him and the evidence that she has was enough for him to understand where she was coming from and to forgive her. Or it says that James Charles is a forgiving human being and is a saint. I don't know which one it is. I wasn't there. None of us were. So at this point, with the information we've been given, you have to decide for yourself if you're willing to accept what Tati said or you're not. And that's just how that is. Now, the part that really solidified why I'm making this video is Shane Dawson's reaction. Wow, my eyebrows are like, they're half-sisters at this point. So, while I was watching Tati's video, I was noticing a lot of comments saying that Shane had gone live, which was interesting because I clicked on the video, it said it had been uploaded for 13 minutes and Shane was already done being live on Instagram. So, like, he jumped on that very quick. I don't know if he had notifications turned on and, like, people texting him and letting him know, like, hey, guess what, it's coming out. But he was on that so quick. So, I finished watching Tati's video. And then I searched for Shane Dawson's Instagram Live. And this Instagram Live is the entire reason that I'm making this video today. Shane's Instagram Live was only about 1.5 minutes long. And in it, he was losing his mind. He was going in circles around his room. He was saying, oh my God, oh my God. And he was like covering his hand with his mouth with his hand. And this part, when I saw it, my mouth just dropped and I was just like frozen to my seat. Trigger warning, you skip forward like 30 seconds if you don't want to hear about a high level of this sexual assault. So Tati says in her video that she felt manipulated, especially because she was a victim of sexual assault and she felt that that was used against her because she would essentially immediately believe the victim and not even think to see James Charles' side. And when she said I was a victim of sexual assault, Shane rolled his eyes, sounded like he was going to say shut up, but and then said she's so manipulative. I'm sorry, but Shane Dawson, in his most recent apology video out of many that he's had to make in his entire career, and everybody has constantly forgiven him, in his most recent video he said that he had a lot of trauma as a child and that could influence his comedy. So how can your trauma as a child influence your comedy and influence your life in that way, but Tati's experience as a sexual assault victim, which she's really never talked about to my knowledge, how can that not influence her decision making? How can you use it as an excuse and it's fine, and she uses it as an excuse and it's manipulation? That is hypocrisy. Other Shane Dawson hypocrisies. He felt like he literally said in his apology that he decided to speak out because he felt like he was getting blamed for the entire Dramageddon. I'm pretty sure Tati felt the same way. That people were coming and saying, oh, well, if Shane didn't orchestrate it all, then it was all Tati. Or Shane said he only knew that she was already going to make a video, so he was really placing the blame on Tati. So how is it completely okay for you to use the excuse that you spoke out because you felt like you were getting blamed for something that wasn't true, when you're not allowing Tati to come and speak out, when you're upset that Tati is going to come and speak out about something that she was triggered in because she believes that she was not the instigator for all of this. It's hypocritical, and it's funny because it came out like the same week. Basically, within a 7-day span, Shane said, it's okay because I was traumatized as a child, so I made a lot of mistakes in my in my life and I'm trying to learn for them. That's fine for him. Tati says it, she's a manipulator. It's fine for Shane to say that he had to speak out because people were blaming him, but Tati comes out and says that she had to speak out because people were blaming her, and she's a manipulator. It's gross. Shane, you were wrong. Actions speak louder than words. Less than a week ago, you came out and said that you wanted to change and you wanted to do better and you wanted to use your platform for good, and now you're discounting a female's sexual assault. And you're calling her a manipulator. And you're trying to gaslight her. In a minute-long Instagram live, you've already done all of that less than a week after you said you wanted to make your channel a positive place. And I want to also bring up, he said in his apology video that Jenna Marbles' video really inspired him. That Jenna Marbles' video where she held herself accountable really inspired him to come out with his own video. Before Tati's video even dropped, it was announced that all of Shane Dawson's channels were demonetized. If he uses Jenna Marbles as an excuse saying that he doesn't want to be profiting off of these channels because they were a cause of such hurt and such hate for so many years, if he says he's gonna make a new channel so that it can start fresh, I'm going to literally scream. I'm going to actually scream because that is manipulative. He hasn't done it yet, to my knowledge, but if he does, know that I will be screaming. The next thing I want to talk about is Ryland. And Ryland upset me. Ryland Adams went on Twitter and said, "Hope you enjoy those sold-out vitamins that made you millions in minutes from Shane's support, you two-faced liar." Hope you enjoy those sold-out vitamins that made you millions in minutes from Shane's support, you two-faced liar. How many millions did Shane Dawson make after tricking the entire community by clickbaiting us with a trailer going over this drama? And Peter Mon has said this, there is no reason for anybody to ever do a good deed just to throw it back at you if you've done something wrong. That is disgusting. And also, Marlena from Makeup Geek has said this was her biggest issue with James Charles, I think. Maybe I get the players wrong, so please correct me in the comments, but I seem to remember her getting upset with James Charles because he called her that woman. And Shane called Tati that woman, saying, "This woman is manipulative. This woman's a liar." He said that so much in his 1 minute Instagram live. Like, his 1.5 minute Instagram live taught us so much about who Shane Dawson is as a person. When you are in your worst moments, not only does it teach you who your friends are, but it teaches us who you are. So, Ryland, I have a problem with everything that you've tweeted. I understand that you're trying to support your fiance, but what you're doing is disgusting to me. And even if I agreed, even if I thought that Tati was in the wrong, the way that you are handling this is toxic. You need a PR team. Your whole crew needs a PR team. You need to get somebody to help you understand how to handle social media when you're in a crisis. While you may be able to handle your social media when you're happy and all of your followers are proud of you, that doesn't mean that you're fully equipped to handle social media when the internet wants to cancel you. And your behavior right now is just making more and more people not like you. You're not bringing in fans. You're not fostering love and support. You're not saying, "Hey, this is a difficult time. While I disagree with Tati's statement, I'm going to stand by my fiance." That's not what you're saying. What you're saying is, this woman is a two-faced liar and she profited off of Shane. Does she look like she wanted to do this? So next I want to talk about Jeffree Star, because I feel like Jeffree Star is getting lost in all of this, and he gets lost in all of the dramas. Dramageddon 1 apparently had more to do about Jeffree Star than what we originally thought. I don't know what he did behind the scenes, but he was involved in that sense. In Dramageddon 2, he put out some horrific allegations about James Charles that could ruin his career, could ruin his life, could follow him for the rest of his life. But Jeffree Star having a platform is dangerous. It's dangerous to other people's mental health, to the point where Tati was afraid that James Charles might hurt himself. It's not okay. So what happens next? What I would like to see happen next is I want Shane and Ryland to stay off the internet. Just get off the internet and really evaluate this. Not evaluating Tati's statement first. What you need to do is reevaluate yourself. You need to look at the choices you've made. You know, Shane, you still had blackface merch last year. I just watched a video about The Chair, which was this documentary series that was following Shane while he was making his movie, and he was awful. The videos that I have seen from that, where he showed his producer a picture that one of the fans drew of her, where it was her as a Jewish person, and it was her with the Star of David behind her, money, all of these like xenophobic, horrific things on there. And he said that was his favorite. When he refused to listen to any input from anybody, when he was blaming other people, saying that they were trying to make him look like a bad guy, when he was leaving the room because he didn't want to listen to anybody's advice, when he said, "I've never yelled at any of you," and the producer was like, "I've been yelled at." Like, honestly, you need to find the video. I watched this video where Shane did some of the most horrific things that I have never in my life seen before, and it was so upsetting. I'll link the channel below. I don't remember the name of it. I'll see if I could put it on the screen. But Shane was doing some really horrific things, and just watching it, I can never support this man again, because I don't care how hard your childhood was, you know the difference. You know between right and wrong by the age of 24. I don't care if it was 10 years ago. I don't care if it was comedy. It's not okay. And your apologies so far have been bad. And when you say your actions are going to show that you're different, they're not. It's been less than a week. You still show that you're a horrible human being. Well, not horrible. Your actions are not showing that you're a better human being. They're showing that you're still selfish and that you're willing to throw anybody under the bus regardless of how they're feeling. Because that's what you just did with Tati with a 1 minute and 45-second Instagram live. That Instagram live spoke more than Tati's 40-minute video. The way that you are reacting, the way that Ryland is reacting is disgusting, and you need to get off the internet for a while. You need to get off. Don't say goodbye. Just leave it. Just leave the internet for a while. And there's some things I really do question. For instance, Tati made clear in her very first Bi Sister video that she never claimed to be a friend of James Charles. She felt like she was more of a mentor, more of a parental figure. She even said, her exact quote was, "At some point I was hoping he'd grow up and we could connect as friends because he would be an adult." So if that's how Tati really saw it, and we'll have to take her word for it until we hear from James Charles. If that's how Tati saw their relationship, I think that's okay. In my opinion, that can be an appropriate relationship. Did you take it too far and maybe become friends before? Like, yeah. But if you were genuinely trying just to be a role model, I think that's appropriate. So riddle me this. Why was a 19-year-old friends with people in their 30s? I'm looking at Shane. I'm looking at Jeffree. What business do you have being friends with a 19-year-old? I am also 30. My youngest friend is over 25. There is no reason you should be friends with a 19-year-old. I don't care if it's benefiting your channel, then make it a contractual obligation for you two to share some sort of collab and make sure it's just that, and that you're not going to cross the line and become friends with a teenager. I understand that he's legally an adult, but still, your brain I forget the exact part of it, but your brain has not finished developing until you're 25. His cognitive reasoning skills and his decision-making skills have not been fully developed. You are in your 30s, yours has been. You're in a power dynamic where even if he has more subscribers than you could still get into his head more than he ever could with you. So that's dangerous and it's toxic, and I don't stand by it. Also, I think Tati does have a pattern for forgiving people for things that maybe she shouldn't. Like, she said that she forgave James for his Ebola scandal. She also ignored Jeffree Star's past, especially the one where he was saying horrific things about Jackie Aina, and then she posted a video with him the next day. So I think this can be considered sort of a pattern for Tati that I hope that she breaks out of. But in general, I'm going through my notes again to make sure I have covered everything. And the other thing that, this is really, really important that I missed, so I'm glad I went back over my notes. One thing I don't understand, and that I do think we need to hold Tati accountable for, was that she said that she called Shane Dawson and said that she was afraid that James would hurt himself. And Shane said, no, he's too narcissistic to do that, allegedly. That's what she has posted online. But she still posted the video. If you were afraid that your protege or former friend or whatever was going to hurt themselves in a way that you can't come back from, why are you posting the video? Now, that's not to say that she maybe didn't call James Charles's manager or people he was traveling with and said, hey, I've posted a video, or I'm going to post a video in 10 minutes. You can't talk me out of it. Just please make sure that you are in the same room as James and that he doesn't do anything stupid. She could have done that. We don't know. And until she says why she still posted it, we won't know. And even then, it might be a lie. I don't know. I don't know these people. They could all be actors. Who do I know, honestly? And what's funny is that I think Jeffree might get away with it again. There for a minute, I thought that this might actually be the one time he's canceled, but I don't think he's getting canceled for this. I think he's still gonna end up on top. And that's a little disturbing. Cool, you can't see any of my eyeshadow. Fun. In the end, I just want to say that I don't think that anybody should bash any of the fans for siding with people. I know that a lot of Shane Dawson's fans tend to be younger, and we don't necessarily know ages of people based off of their profile picture. So I would suggest that for the fan bases of James Charles, Tati Westbrook, Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, just please don't bash each other for who you like. Respect each other's opinions. You can have a decent conversation in the comment section and keep it respectful. You can still discuss and have differing opinions, and we can stay friends if we have different opinions about most things. This is a topic that is beyond tea. It's beyond drama. This is probably going to go to court. Honestly, I could see Tati suing them. I could see Jeffree coming out and suing her. I could just see Shane coming out and suing her ahead of time and being like, my whole channel has been demonetized because of you, even though she posted the video after that. But anyway, I think it's important to watch what they called The Chair, which was the reality series following Shane Dawson while he made a movie. You can see how he actually treats people that work with him and for him. That's important, because I don't want to support anybody that treats people like garbage. Shane. Okay, makeup's done. I can take out the garbage now.